What's up, wrestling fans? Mouth of the South Shore here, and today I'm dressed like a douchebag. Well, it's true. But listen, we got a big show today. We got a bigger show Wednesday. I know I haven't been on here in a while. The YouTube stuff kind of took a backseat to Sandy recovery and Thanksgiving and all sorts of that fun stuff. But we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Okay, big announcement at the end. We had a new intro, so that's the big announcement that has happened already. Got a new intro. Thanks to the people at Fan vs. Fan Radio for making that happen. Make sure you tune in to the first couple of minutes of the show. Now, you should listen to the whole show, but definitely make sure you catch the first couple of minutes because I'm really proud of the intro. I think it's funny. I think it's cool. You're going to like it. I guarantee it. Yep. Now I'm ripping off the Men's Warehouse guy. Well, anyway, let's talk some wrestling. We had a pretty good show today, and I haven't said that about the WWE in a while. But it actually wasn't bad, and a lot of that has to do with the pacing of the show. You had a couple of good matches, okay? And a lot of that is that you have time for that. It's one of the few advantages of a 3-hour show is you have time to have 10, 12, 15-minute matches without having them feel rushed. Do fast-paced matches for that long, and the show goes by a lot quicker. And people are going to enjoy the matches because they're wrestling fans. They tune in and they actually like watching wrestling. Oh, wow. It's a mind blower, right? I know. But check it out. I mean, you had Kofi and you had Antonio Cesaro. Great match. You had Sheamus and Ziggler. Great match. You had the Fatal 4-Way which is weird, but the Fatal 4-Way to determine the number one contender for the number one contender match. Yeah, figure that one out. They're going to face Rey and Sin Cara at the pay-per-view. So that was actually thrown together. I want to commend WWE, though. They actually had 5 or 6 matches going into this week. Now, one of them they had to alter because CM Punk got hurt. Nothing you could do about that. I actually think it was handled somewhat decently. If it was me, I would have stripped Punk of the title because I think that it would have benefited Punk more and his character more to not be the champion. But we're going to talk about that more on the radio show, and I've actually alluded to it in last week's show. So if you check below, I'll try and go ahead and link both episodes, last week's and this week's. But the more important thing is this pay-per-view this Sunday, there's actually some stuff you might want to see. And the TLC pay-per-view usually ends up pretty good. It's probably my favorite of the gimmick pay-per-views. Thankfully, there's not many of those left because most of them just didn't work that well. But the TLC is not bad, because you have different options of what to do with the matches. I just think that the whole chair match idea is stupid, because that's basically a no DQ. But it says a lot that the guys in the chair match, Sheamus and Big Show, they're not going to main event the show. 3 rookies are going to main event the show. The Shield. Now, you got to be excited about that. I mean, supposedly, Seth Rollins can wrestle really well, and Dean Ambrose is supposed to be pretty good, and Reigns is the big power guy. Should be interesting to see. I just don't know which way they're going to book it. And I want to talk about booking. We're going to get to that on Wednesday. It's not always so important to look deep into it. Sometimes you have to step back and just enjoy the show. Sometimes you have to look at the booking. But today, if you ignore the booking, you've got 3 really good wrestling matches, amongst other things on the show. Now, the one negative of today's show, of course, is the AJ-Vicky stuff. When is AJ going to get any sort of comeuppance ever? I mean, it's getting to the point where I get it. Vicky gets more heat, but at some point you got to pay it off or Vicky gets her ass kicked. Tonight was the night. AJ in her hometown kicked Vicky's ass. It was set up. Vicky hated the idea, but she weasels her way out again. Come on! I get that we're hopefully letting her down until close to WrestleMania. She finally gets it, and then she gets the title match. I hope that's where we're leading, because the feeling I have in my mouth right now, it's a sour taste, man, and I'm not feeling it. Eventually, AJ has to get what's coming to her, which is a big victory over Vicky so she can move the heck on. Because there's no payoff for the pay-per-view match. Nobody wants to see those 2 on pay-per-view because they can't wrestle. AJ can. Vicky can't. Tonight should have been the night they paid it off. Do it soon, please. Get it over with. We'll talk about that and more on Wednesday's show, but the big news for Wednesday, Drum roll. Downstait is coming on the show. That's right. Downstait. You may know them from such hits as I Came to Play, Here to Show the World, and Say It to My Face. They've done 3 theme songs for the WWE, and they're coming on the show to talk about, well, whatever they want to talk about. They got a tour coming up, and, you know, they got a bunch of new music. They are one of the biggest independent acts in the world, and they're going to be on the Mouth of the South Shore radio show this Wednesday at 9. So make sure you tune in. Make sure you call in and ask questions to Downstait. We'll have all the information ready for you below. So make sure you check that out. Make sure you check out the show. Our Twitters are below. For myself, Jason, and Eric Kravit, tweet at us questions if you don't feel comfortable calling in, and we'll ask them some questions straight from Twitter. So make sure you get at me. Make sure you get at the other guys. And make sure you tune into the show Wednesday at 9. Mouth of the South Shore radio show on the Fan vs. Fan radio networks. See you Wednesday, boys and girls.